Welcome, everyone. Welcome to our series on anchors in the storms of life, practices for resilience. This is our final installment, and I know we've had a blast exploring resilience and the inevitable storms of life we all encounter and how to use practices that can anchor us within those storms. If you've missed the first two of the series, we did a practice with Crispin on buoying the nervous system and one with me on weathering the chaos of the mind, and those replays are available. And then our collaboration is the three of us work with resilience and the storms of life in complementary yet very uniquely different ways. And our hope is that the series has and will continue to give you takeaway and practical tools you can use in your daily life for your body, mind, heart, and soul. And today we'll wrap up our series with Alycia, focusing on diving into your inner power. So I'm just going to do a little bit of orientation to our time and the structure of our time. So please stay muted until the Q&A time, where you're welcome to come on and ask a question live. Please note that this is being recorded and it will be shared publicly. So if you do choose to share during Q&A, your video and audio will be shared in public forums. During the presentation and the teaching, the only people recorded will be the three of us, Alycia, Crispin, and myself. So you're welcome to keep your camera on or off as per your preference. If you wish to not be on the recording, but you do have a question, you can put it in the chat, or you can email admin or Thomas, direct message him, and he'll navigate that as well to make sure your question gets to Alycia. We're going to start with some brief introductions. We'll go into the practice, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. If you have any tech issues, Thomas is here to support you and all of us. Thank you, Thomas. And you can direct message him. So welcome, Alycia. I'm so excited to learn from you and to experience the way that you work with resilience. And I just have a couple of questions. I'm going to start with, why did you get into the healing work that you do?
Great question. It was at a time in my life that I was transitioning, right? So I was early 50s. I know I don't look much older than that now, but whatever. Early 50s, so later in life, right? And I was at the point of being an empty nester. And my last child was going off to college, and I had all of the, love and best wishes for him and was happy to see that happening and to support him in that. But I was feeling some kind of way about it that I didn't understand. I just didn't know why I was feeling depressed. I was feeling, I felt like I was put out to pasture, basically. Felt like that mom side of me, pardon me, was put out to pasture and was not useful anymore. And that threw me into just a period of really kind of soul searching and trying to figure out, okay, if this mom piece is over and done, who am I? I'd done all the other things. I graduated from Harvard. I had a corporate career, a 20-year corporate career in leadership. And still here I was feeling like I don't even know who I am. And then in addition to that, I was afraid for my marriage because I knew that we had spent so much time on our kids, and I don't regret that. I certainly don't regret that at all. I guess the better way to say it is we had spent all the time in the world that we should have on our children, but we didn't spend the time that necessarily we should have on our own marriage and our own relationship. And so I didn't, being empty nesters, I didn't want to be sitting there just kind of staring at each other. So I set on this path to figure out in the midst of all of this who I am really. And I worked with a coach, and I will plug that because coaches are so important for us. They are mirrors for us, and in ways that you just can't possibly imagine. I worked with a coach, and basically she said, you can't fix your marriage or work on your marriage only by doing date nights and all of those things. You have to really start with learning about who you are and diving into yourself and learning to love yourself, because when you learn to love yourself and know yourself at that level, then everything else opens up. And so that was really that's where it started. For the first time in my life, at the age of 50, I took a trip to Sedona. Didn't know what Sedona was, just knew I needed to go there. And that was one of the first signs of kind of just my intuition kicking in. And was working with a healer there, and she asked me, "Are you a healer?" And I was like, "I don't think so, not that I know of." And then I just started exploring from there, and through a series of synchronicities, I came into working with sacred geometry as a healing modality. And it's amazing. I love it. I think it's a great complement to all of the things that we've explored with you ladies as well here. And yeah, so that's how I actually started. The other piece that I'll add to that is, at this same time, I was still working in the corporate world. I was still coaching leaders and teams and all of those good things. But what I realized was that business coaching that was from a very solid behavioral science perspective didn't hit everything that was necessary to help those leaders be the best that they could be. Because quite frankly, when some of my clients were so stressed, it didn't make any difference what I said to them about business. It wasn't landing because they were not in a place to hear it. So I actually started using my energy work in parallel with my leadership coaching sessions, and saw amazing results because it calmed them down immediately so that they could be in the headspace to deal with what they needed to deal with. And so that's how I got here. So now I'm a master energy healer. I'm a emotion, mind, and energy intuitive advisor, leadership advisor. So you get the BOGO with me. You get the energy and the business all at the same time.
Oh, I love that. You get the BOGO.
BOGO.
God, it's amazing how these like big, huge life transitions can just catapult us into like who you really are. It's amazing to hear that and witness that. So thank you so much. How do you personally define resilience?
Yeah, that's another great question. So for me, resilience is about your ability to take what's coming at you or what's swirling around you, um, and deal with it from a place of neutrality, from a place of being able to be an objective observer, almost step outside of it and kind of just look at it and say, okay, what's happening here, right? What that doesn't mean, though, is that I'm not saying that we don't need to feel the emotions that we feel when things happen to and around and for us or inside of us. We need to feel those emotions. They serve a purpose. They're absolutely important. But when we spin in them and we spiral in them, and when we let them have an outsized impact on the way that we view the world or the way that we view ourselves or view others, then we can create challenges for ourselves that might not otherwise be there, right? So I like to think of it. I don't know if you're familiar with Dr. Jill Bolte Taylor. She's a neuroscientist, and I can't remember if we talked about this on this series before, but the 90-second rule, right? So in our bodies, when we have an emotion, the chemical reaction to that emotion, the stress hormones, all those types of things physically last for about 90 seconds, which means the physical reaction to that emotion is there for just a minute and a half. And so if we're feeling emotions in an outsized way after that, it's because we're making that happen in some way for ourselves. And it's not a judgment. It's certainly not a judgment, because I know I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it, right? But we're choosing that for some reason. It's serving a purpose for us, and sometimes it's not always the best purpose. Sometimes it's our mind just telling us this feels familiar, so we need to stay here, and it can block us from kind of getting to a better place. So I guess that's what resilience is about for me. It's how to figure out how to move through all of those beautiful emotions that we need to feel and live and learn from, without letting them have an impact on us that we don't necessarily want to have. So
Yeah, I love that the ability to like feel our feelings, but then also the way that we can like trap ourselves in them. And like
yes.
how is that serving us? And how that all kind of gets wrapped up in resilience. So beautiful. Thank you. I'm gonna pass it to Crispin for a couple more.
Sure.
Thank you. I have a quick follow-up question. Alycia, for people who don't know about Sedona, How would you describe it? This place that you just happen to think that maybe you should go visit.
That's a great question. So Sedona, Arizona it's literally it's an energy vortex. It's one of the places on this earth where just the energetic forces are very, very strong and powerful in terms of ability to heal ourselves, to heal others, to heal the world, right? Sedona, the city itself, is a vortex. And then within Sedona, there are certain areas that are energetically charged in different ways as well. And so many opportunities there to literally put, I'm going to talk about this in a bit, but put ourselves as energetic beings in a space where we can resonate with energy that is healing for us, and that we can be on that same vibration, and we can learn and we can grow and we can transmute things that aren't serving us anymore. And it's just this really powerful, beautiful spot. And it's a place where all traditions have come together as well in kind of around energy and all of the different just all of the different amazing practices that you can find. Is that a good description of Sedona?
Yes, yeah. I just love that detail of your story that, oh, I think I have to go to Sedona, whatever that's for. Like, well, it's for some stuff. There's some stuff there.
And here's what I will tell you too, Saumya. Just a couple of weeks ago, I ended up unknowingly in another place just like that. I was in Santa Fe and New Mexico and White Sands, and we can do
Yeah.
that'll be another but that same type of thing. And so once energetically you start opening yourself up to that, then the universe just plops these opportunities in front of you to experience it on a higher and higher level. So it's really cool. I could talk about energy all day long.
And you will in a moment. Let me ask you one more question. So, in addition to, it seems like you do a lot of continuing education around developing your skills and exploring new things. What have you brought into your life as a personal practice of resilience?
Hmm. Yeah. A couple of different things. The first thing that I would say is throughout my practice, what I have, so I'll step back, learning to to tap into the energy healing abilities that we all have, right? I'm not special. We all have these abilities. Learning to tap into those has helped me and caused me to be much more observant of myself and my own patterns and my own thoughts and my own energy. So one of the things that I do is just try to be much more diligent about observing what I'm seeing, what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling in any moment, and then doing a pattern interrupt, particularly if it's a negative emotion, right? If it's an emotion that's kind of lowering my vibration. So if I'm feeling angry, instead of spiraling in that anger, stopping and saying, why, what's going on, what purpose is it serving for me, and then how do I not stay here, right? So that helps me a lot. I was talking with the client the other day. This reminds me, and she was dealing with some of the same things, and this phrase came to mind, and I said to her, you know what, here's a potential pattern interrupt. In those moments, instead of saying why, say, oh, that's interesting. Just like you're an observer of what's going on. Oh, that's interesting. And kind of spark your brain to say, well, why is that interesting? Put you on a little bit of a different thought path, kind of with that thought. So just an example. Pattern interrupts also they can be very physical. Like if I'm feeling some kind of way, and I don't know why, I might just change my surroundings, go take a walk, do some jumping jacks, look at something that I know is going to make me laugh instantly, just to shift my thought process, and shift my perspective. Because changing how I see things, by changing what and who I see, I think has become very important, as well. Maybe it's just calling a friend that you can just kind of not word vomit on, but that you can process with, right? And kind of build that posse of people as well. So
Mhm.
the other thing that I'll add here, just one last thing, um, healing work in and of itself is is it's a resilience practice, right? Because when I do healing work for other people, I receive healing work as well, right? We're all connected energetically. So the healing that happens for all of us. I'm a little selfish that way too. I'll take some healing, right? I love working with other people, but I'll take it for myself, and that's the way it works, right? It works kind of communally, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And there's you know, I think all three of us and some other people on the call, I think that I know probably get a great deal of satisfaction from working with our clients because it's helps bring us into alignment. It's not just.
Yep.
So, what you got, friend? Teach us some things.
Ready to step in?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So I'll just kind of reiterate a little bit some of what Saumya said at the beginning. So with our first two sessions that these beautiful ladies did for us, we had some really powerful experiences and approaches to resilience. So Crispin showed us how shifts in our posture and our presence can help to unlock stability for us. And Saumya guided us through different instances of emotional weather, if you will. I love the way that she framed that, emotional weather, by helping us learn to decouple our sensations, our physical sensations in our body from our thoughts and our feelings. And so I'm going to add one more tool to our resilience toolkit here today, and it's in the form of energy healing. Like I said, we're all healers, right? It's just a matter of how consciously we do it or not. This may be a little bit of less of a physical approach, although I will ask you to kind of do some things as we go through the process here. There'll be a little bit of movement, but it's really all about tapping into your innate power to really perceive beyond your five senses with around what's going on with you, and then clearing what you might have stuck energetically within your energetic body to help kind of strengthen your capacity to really weather the storm, as we like to say here. So this may not be new information to any of you, but in the event that there's some folks that this is new, this energy work is new too, I'm going to start off by saying we are energy. We are pure energy, each one of us. And I like to say that we're energy inhabiting a physical vessel. So I kind of see us as these big, amazing, beautiful balls of powerful divine energy wearing a meat suit. We're walking around in this world in our meat suits, right? And learning and growing and enjoying and experiencing all of the emotions that there are to experience. So within our energetic bodies, that ball of energy, if you will, we have our chakras. And each one of those is a little spinning energy center in the body. And each one is connected to some type of physical, emotional, or kind of spiritual function. And they really regulate how we feel, how we act, how we connect, and not only connect with other people in the world outside of us, but how we connect with ourselves internally as well. And they all work together. So to kind of help us function smoothly. And if one of them is off, then your entire energy flow can be off. And y'all probably know as well that one of the things that can get in the way of our little energy centers being spinning freely is trauma. And trauma can be, can fall across a very wide spectrum. Trauma can be when you were 2 years old, your mom told you that you couldn't have that lollipop, and that stuck with you in some way. It could be you got some side eye at the grocery store yesterday because the woman thought that your cart was too close to hers. It could be trauma in terms of physical abuse, emotional abuse, daily stress on the job, anything like that. Even the stuff that's going on outside of us and in the world that we're all exposed to on a daily. So all of that can help to like muck up our energy centers, if you will. So today we're going to try to clear the muck a little bit. I like to think of it as doing an oil change. We take our cars to the shop to get an oil change, right? So that our cars run smoothly. So we're going to do an oil change for our energetic body. How's that sound? Sound good? I like it. Okay. So we're going to do some group energy work. And frequently I get asked, is group energy work as effective as doing energy work one-on-one? And I always say, yes, absolutely yes, because remember, we're all each little balls of energy. We're all bringing our energy to the party here. And the more energy that we have at the party or in our container, right, the more energy there is from us all to pull from and to tap on. It's kind of an amplification effect, putting all of our energy together. So the beautiful thing about it is that even though we're all kind of lending our energy to this container, we're all going to get exactly what we need individual to us, even though we're tapping into the energy of the container. So another analogy, think of us like a cell phone. Each of us is a cell phone, right? And Saumya, you might be the iPhone, and Crispin, you might be the Samsung, and you might work a little bit differently. You might have different functions. You might work on a different frequency, but we're all cell phones plugged into the charging station that is like the ones at the airport, right? And so we're all plugged in. We're all getting what we need. We're all getting charged up in a way that makes sense for our version of the phone, right? Okay. We're going to get started here in just a second, but I do want to note that even if you're watching this on replay, you can plug into the charging station too, right? Just by lending your attention to the video, just by being present and having the intention that you're part of the group and you're plugged into the charging station, it gives you access to all of this combined energy here. So I would encourage you to go with that and follow along and participate just as if you were here when we were doing this live. Okay. All right, we're going to get started here. First thing, I'm going to ask you just to get yourself into a nice comfy space where you're comfortable and you can close your eyes. And while you're doing that, give you a minute to do that, get settled. You can sit, you can lay down, doesn't make a difference, whatever is comfortable. I would not suggest that you stand up just because I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. And then I'm going to kind of guide you into tapping into our collective energetic field here. And at the same time, I'm going to do some sacred geometry work kind of behind the scenes for everybody. There will be moments of silence, and that's okay. And there will be moments when I'll call on you to do some things. During those moments of silence, and really throughout, your job is to just observe. Observe what you might be seeing with your eyes closed, or feeling or hearing, or if you get hot or cold, or if you have emotion that flows, or if you fall asleep. Some people will fall asleep. And that's okay, because if that's what happens, then that's exactly what you needed in the moment. So just really observe what's happening to you right there. Maybe your ears are ringing like mine are right now. That's a sign of connection, energetic connection, right? None of it is wrong. It's all right, and it's all divinely guided. The other thing that I will say before we get going here is that the work that I do is not tied to any one religion. It may have roots in, or it may resonate with you at a certain level from a religion perspective, but I really think about it as spirituality, and regardless of what your belief system is, this is all about energy. And so the language I use, I might say universe, and you might think God or goddess or Allah. It's all good, right? It's all the same, and it all still works. I might say earth energies, and you might think quantum physics. That's okay too, right? It's all kind of on that same level. So what's most important to remember is that really the more open you are to the experience personally, the more powerful the work can be for you. So you have the ability to make the work as powerful as it possibly can be. All right. Sound good? Getting some thumbs up. All right. I love it. I love it. All right. We will go ahead and get started. So settle into your spots there and go ahead and close your eyes. I'm going to ask you to take in a nice deep breath and let it go. Taking another nice deep breath and let it go. And take in one more nice deep breath and let it go. And now breathe in for 3, 2, 1, and hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and let it go for 3, 2, and 1. And in again for 3, 2, 1, hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and let it go for 3, 2, and 1. And last time, in for 3, 2, 1, hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and let it go for 3, 2, and 1. Amazing. Just back to your nice, normal, easy breathing. Feel your breath, your lungs filling up from deep down all the way up to the top. Nice and slow and easy. And while you're doing that, let's just give a little bit of thanks to your body for all of the things that it does for you on the daily that you don't have to think about. You don't have to ask for, it just happens. So your breath flowing in and out, your heart beating, blood pumping through your veins, the connections in your brain firing. It all just happens, and it happens beautifully. So thank you to our vessels. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Calling in all of our angels, archangels, guides, ascended masters, our higher selves, ancestors, Mother Nature, Earth energies, all the elementals. Thank you so much for being here. All other beings of love and light. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, for the intention of our work today as a group, as a beautiful collective here, helping us to remove anything that is blocking us from weathering the storms of life with ease and grace. And if you have anything else that you would like to speak in terms of individual intentions for you, go ahead, speak them now. You can say them out loud. You can say them to yourself, knowing that this work is always divinely timed and happens in the highest good and for the highest good. So I want you to imagine now a column of gold light coming down from way up in the cosmos towards the top of your head. See it coming down towards you. And as it reaches the top of your head, it slowly, gently starts to flow down your spinal column, from the top of your spinal column down to the bottom of your spinal column, to the very tip. And you might feel a warm sensation as it flows down. You might feel tingling, or you might not feel anything. That's okay. This is your divine self. This is your source energy. This is the energy of the version of you that has all of your answers, that's done everything that you want to do and has accomplished them, that comes from a place of pure love, starting with love for yourself. And so slowly, I want you to see that energy, perceive it in whatever way makes sense for you. Maybe you are seeing it or visualizing it. Maybe you're feeling it flow through your body. Maybe you're getting warm, cold, but I just want you to perceive it as it flows out into the rest of your body. So that concentrated energy from your spinal cord is flowing out, filling up your torso, filling the rest of your head up, flowing down into your hips and legs, down to your feet, until you are this beautiful, glowing gold being. This is your true essence. This is who you are. And from this place, I just want you to observe. You're going to hear a bit of silence right now. So just observe any thoughts that come to you. If they're your to-do list thoughts, then gently say thank you and just move them aside into the box next to you and close that box and say thank you. I'll come back to you later. And then just come back to your breath. And when it's time to come back, you'll hear my voice. So now with your eyes still closed, we're going to work together collectively to clear our chakras. I want you to start off by taking one or both hands and resting it or them lightly on the top of your head. If it feels more right to just hover above the top of your head, you can do that as well. And you can say out loud, or you can just think in your mind, I open to divine wisdom and to my higher truth. And just observe. Notice any sensations that you might feel on the top of your head around that area. Beautiful. Now take your hands and just cup them around your ears. Just gently resting around your ears. But I want you to say or think, I hear clearly and I choose what I tune into. And again, just observe. Beautiful. Now take one of your hands and place it right on the center of your forehead. This is your third eye chakra. And you can drop the other hand away from your ear. And here we say, I trust my inner vision and guidance. Perfect. Now with one hand, moving down to your throat chakra, one over your throat and one just on your upper chest, almost stacked. Beautiful. And affirm for yourself, I speak with clarity and with truth. Perfect. Now place your hands, one or both, over your heart. It can be either flat, can be crossed one on top of the other. And here we say, I'm open to love, to compassion, and to connection. And just observe anything you feel, anything you perceive. And now let's move down to your solar plexus chakra. So just right above your belly button, one or both hands flat on your upper abdomen. And remind yourself, I own my power and I take aligned action. And just observe. Do you feel a softening? Maybe you feel that center spinning faster, speeding up. And next, your sacral chakra. So right below your belly button, on your lower belly there. One or both hands. I honor my emotions, my creativity, and my desires. And last but not least, your root chakra. So one hand over your tailbone, or if you prefer, you can just have both of your hands resting on your thighs, close to your knees. And here, affirm for yourself, I'm grounded, I'm supported, and I'm safe in my body. Beautifully done. So stay there, eyes closed, just a few more minutes. And again, just observe. A few more short minutes of silence while I balance and close our container. And when it's time to come back, I'll call you. A few last bits of gratitude. Thanks to all of our guides, all the beings of love and light that were here for this beautiful, powerful work with us in this container. And then extend just a bit of gratitude to yourself for leaning in to the experience. and for letting in that version of you that knows how powerful you are and knows that you can tap into that energy at any time to help yourself and to help others. So slowly start to deepen your breathing, maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes, come back into your body. If you feel like a hug for yourself, just wrap yourself in your arms, in your own arms, out of gratitude. And when you're ready, only when you're fully ready, go ahead and open your eyes. Fully present in your space and back here with all of us. See everybody joining us. And I see eyeballs. Yay. All right. Nicely done, everyone. I love that. Would anybody be interested in just sharing your experience? One of the things that I find, especially doing this with group work, is that sometimes people have the same experiences, but may not necessarily want to speak up about it. So if there's a brave soul that would like to share what your experience was, that would be great.
I'm happy to share.
Mm.
It's really fascinating. Just like when I had my hands over my ears, I heard horses and water. Then I had all these colors, and then I would get distracted. And when I had my hands, here, I felt like my whole face start to like melt and come into my jaw. And then at the end, I just experienced a lot of color yellow. It was really fascinating and felt so like sweet and connecting and just lovely. So thank you. This is cool.
My honor. Thank you. And thanks for sharing. Beautiful things. So there's all kinds of messages in there for you, right? And so when I work individually with folks, then we go in and kind of we can deconstruct and we can really dive into well, like what that means for you. What does the color yellow mean for you specifically? Is it related to a specific chakra? What you were hearing with your ear in your when you were focusing on your ear chakra there, is that an indicator of you need to be in spaces where you can hear those things because it has some type of magic, it has some work and healing for you in those spaces. So I'm kind of going with that because that sounds fun regardless, right?
Yeah, being around horse and water. Yes.
Absolutely. Beautiful. I love that. Thank you, Saumya. Anybody else would like to share?
Go. I came in with a specific question today, so I was sort of had a focus area, I guess, and it was around discernment, which I assumed would be third eye. And I realized I had this really powerful realization that became a very physical sensation that I had been kind of, discernment has come up a lot in the past few months. And I think that I've been like protecting not, I haven't been able to see because I've been trying to keep gunk from getting in. And during this session, I realized that I can keep the gunk from getting in by turning up my power, not by plugging the hole. So that was a really powerful realization and definitely connected the whole system for me.
I love
So thank
that.
you.
Oh, my honor. Thank you for sharing. That's powerful. That's really powerful. And it is amazing sometimes when we get still and when we pull in that gold light, right? That literally that gold light is that's who we are, right? That's our essence. When we pull in and get still enough to really like listen to that and feel into that, we can have these epiphanies that sometimes they're simple, right? But profound all at the same time. So I love that for you, Crispin. Thank you
Well, thank you.
for sharing. Beautiful. Anybody else like to share? Pierre, hi.
Hi there. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
We've chatted on LinkedIn a little bit.
Yes, socials.
And so thank you for this. So for me, what was happening is that when we started with the crown chakra and all that, I started getting visual impression. I tend to do visuals when I do energy work. And I was getting visual impression of my guides, the different guides, just outlines of them. And so that was really cool. I don't know if all of them were friendly, but they were there. Or it just had that sense. So
I love it.
yeah. And then just doing, I've not worked with the gold energy before, but just doing that, just feeling that column of energy, it's just like, it was interesting. It just heated up my central line. It was from top of my head down to my, to my tailbone. And so that was an interesting kind of experience as well. So
Beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Very powerful. And it is amazing, again, how simple, like just pulling that gold energy in, how that can open up so many things. And I'm getting that those were your guides and there was nothing negative there to deal with.
okay.
They were all right there.
There was the color red on one of them, and so it was just like, and so I don't know what that meant. I'm like, I'm making up the story here. Like, was that anger or whatever? But yeah.
Anger. I'm not getting any anger. No, I'm not getting any anger. And that's the beauty too. Thank you, Pierre, for sharing that, because that's kind of the beauty of being in a container like this and doing this work collectively, because our vibration as a group is just so high that any of those lower vibrational energies, they're down there. It's like they're trying to throw a rock at an airplane and they can't get to you.
Yeah.
So, they're not going to be in this space.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
That's the beauty. That's the power of keeping yourself at a level like this, because then you don't have to worry about really any of the kind of lower level vibration. So yeah,
Cool.
thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, beautiful. I don't want to cut anybody off. If anybody else would like to share, happy to hear more shares, or we can flow on. Jen, I see you.
Yeah, I'll share that. I really appreciated the phrases that went along with each chakra. I've been just really trying to step into my own wisdom. And so that just each phrase and each chakra having that phrase really did feel like an alignment coming together.
Beautiful. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you got value out of it. And you can do this, right? You can do this on your own. If nothing else, every time you feel like it, whenever you feel like it, pull that gold energy and just sit and see what comes, right? What you feel. Get your answers. All right, I'm going to move us on here. Oh, let me just say, I will say this one thing, because this did come through. For me, the reaction, the most significant reaction, which to me is an indicator of what was going on for us collectively, and I put us in there as well, me too, it was around the throat chakra. And so all around putting yourself out there, speaking your truth, stepping into who you are through your voice and using it in that way. So just a little bit of insight on maybe the next level down for all of us as a collective here. So wanted to share that. All right. Thank you. All right. Thomas, if you will. So, guys, thank you so much for being here with us today. And I just would like to offer you a gift, really. And this is all specific to our Anchors in the Storm kind of series here. I have a resilience reset that I would love to offer to you. If you enjoyed the experience today, we can do a longer one-on-one experience, a 30-minute private consultation with you. We'll do some energy clearing. We'll talk about what's going on with you. And like it says there on the slide, real talk, real energy, and real-time realignment. So this work can happen very, very quickly. Normally, this is a session that I offer to folks at $497, but for today and for the group of people that are here, and anybody that's watching it later, if you get in on on this, the first 7 of you to schedule with me for that, it'll be complimentary. I'll do that for you, just my gift, totally. So I would love to see y'all on the other side, if you will, and we can dive in deeper to some of the specifics for you. With that, I will say thank you, and then I'll ask, are there any questions?
Thank you so much, Alycia. It's beautiful work. It's so nice to have everyone here together. Thank you to all of you. In this series, I think that Anchors in the Storm, as I think back, I think, how do I want to say this? Building personal resilience is not just a defense mechanism, it's also keeps us available to joy. And I really felt that today. So thank you so much for building this space together today, Alycia and Saumya and Alycia and I together. I love the work that we've done together. Thank you, Thomas, for supporting us. Thank you to everyone who is here today, and thank you to anyone who is watching online. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. And all of the replays are available. Thomas, could you advance that slide? There are replays available on the YouTube channel, the Seed Yoga Therapy YouTube channel. So if anyone here wants to go back and watch the first two, or you could repeat the work that we did with Alycia today. So that language that was so valuable, we can study it, learn it, rehearse it, and use it for ourselves all day, every day.
And I will thank you, Crispin. I really appreciate that. Agree with everything that you said, and I would encourage everyone to tap into what Kristen and Saumya have offered as well. They had some really cool free offers. So don't hesitate, right? Take advantage of all of the wisdom that these ladies have to offer you. So.
And I'm
Any final word? Yeah.
Thank you so much I feel like my resilience built so much in these last several months with the three of us and the two of you specifically. And I just feel really grateful for this collaboration. So thank you. And for everybody who joined.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right, we'll sign off. Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks, everybody.